Welcome back to our channel, my dear friends. Sometimes we become disappointed because our life is not changing as quickly as we want. We work hard, but success takes time. We try to improve, but we still make mistakes. We look at other people moving forward and start thinking, why am I still here? But remember, you are still growing. Not every change happens quickly. Lesson 1. Stop expecting yourself to change overnight. One of the biggest reasons we become disappointed with ourselves is that we expect change to happen too quickly. We decide, from tomorrow, I will become disciplined. I will wake up early every day. I will stop wasting time. I will become confident. I will completely change my life. Then we have one difficult day. We wake up late. We lose motivation. We return to an old habit. And suddenly we think, I failed again. But real growth usually does not happen like that. You are trying to change habits, thoughts, and behaviors that may have been part of your life for years. Give yourself time. Think about planting a tree. You do not put a seed into the ground today and become angry tomorrow because there is no tree. You water it. You protect it. You give it sunlight. Then you wait. For some time, you may not see anything happening above the ground, but underneath, roots are beginning to grow. Your personal growth can feel the same. Maybe you are working on your confidence, but you still feel nervous sometimes. That does not mean you are not improving. Maybe you are trying to become more disciplined, but you still have lazy days. That does not erase every good day. Maybe you are learning a new skill and still make simple mistakes. That does not mean you should stop. Growth is not about becoming perfect immediately. It is about becoming a little better over time. Instead of asking, why haven't I completely changed yet? Ask, what am I doing better than before? Maybe you recover from bad days faster. Maybe you are more aware of your mistakes. Maybe you are making better decisions. Maybe something that once took you a week to understand now takes you one day. These are signs of growth. Do not ignore small progress because you are waiting for a huge transformation. You should also stop creating impossible expectations. If you have never exercised regularly, do not expect yourself to suddenly exercise 2 hours every day. Start with 20 minutes. If you rarely read, do not force yourself to finish a book every day. Start with a few pages. If you want to improve your life, choose 1 or 2 habits and build them slowly. Small promises are easier to keep, and every promise you keep builds trust in yourself. There will also be days when you move backward. That is normal. One bad day does not destroy your progress. If you miss one workout, return tomorrow. If you waste an evening, use the next morning better. If you make a mistake, learn from it. Do not turn one mistake into a reason to give up completely. Imagine climbing a mountain. Sometimes you move quickly, sometimes you move slowly, sometimes you need to stop and rest. But resting does not mean you have returned to the bottom. You are still on the mountain. Your journey is still continuing. So be patient with yourself. You are learning, you are changing. You are becoming more aware, and you are building a version of yourself that does not appear in one night. Give yourself the time you would give anything else that is worth building. You do not need to become your best version tomorrow. You only need to keep giving that person a chance to grow today. Lesson 2. Do not compare your progress with someone else's. Being patient with yourself becomes much harder when you constantly look at what everyone else is doing. You see someone becoming successful. someone buying a house, someone getting a better job, someone building a business, someone becoming confident. And suddenly you look at your own life and think, why am I not there yet? But you are comparing two completely different journeys. You do not know where that person started. You do not know how long they have been working. You do not know what opportunities they had. You do not know what they sacrificed. And you do not know what problems they are facing behind the success you can see. Social media can make this even harder. You may open your phone for 5 minutes and see 10 people celebrating something. A promotion, a new car, a beautiful vacation, a successful business, a perfect relationship. After watching all of this, your normal day can suddenly feel like a failure. But remember, you are seeing their special moments while living every moment of your own life. That is not a fair comparison. People usually show the result. They do not always show the years of confusion before it. They show the successful business. They may not show the failed ideas. They show confidence. They may not show the years they spent fighting self-doubt. They show the beautiful life. They may not show the difficult days. So stop using someone else's visible success as proof that you are moving too slowly. Your timeline is different. Maybe someone reaches their goal at 25. You may reach yours at 35. That does not automatically make their journey better. What matters is whether you are continuing to grow. Instead of asking, "Am I ahead of them?" ask, "Am I better than I was before?" That is a healthier comparison. Look at yourself 6 months ago. Maybe you understand something today that confused you before. Maybe you handle stress better. Maybe you have become more disciplined. Maybe you are learning to protect your time. Maybe you have stopped chasing people who do not respect you. Maybe you are finally working toward a dream you delayed for years. These changes matter. Do not ignore them simply because someone else seems further ahead. You should also remember that different parts of life grow at different speeds. Someone may have more money than you but wish they had your free time. Someone may have a successful career but struggle in their personal life. Someone may look confident but secretly feel lost. Nobody has everything perfectly organized. So do not look at one beautiful part of someone's life and decide that their entire life is better than yours. Learn from people instead of competing with them. If someone is disciplined, study their habits. If someone communicates well, learn from the way they speak. If someone has built something you want to build, study their process. Let their success teach you. Do not let it punish you. You can say, "Good for them. Their success does not mean I am failing." That is a powerful mindset. You can celebrate someone else and still believe in yourself. You can admire someone without wanting to become them. You can learn from someone's journey while staying committed to your own. And sometimes, you need to reduce how often you look at everyone else's progress. If social media constantly makes you feel behind, take a break. Put your phone down. Return to your own work. Your goals need your attention more than someone else's life does. Spend that hour learning, working, exercising, planning, resting, building something. Every minute you spend worrying about how far someone else has gone is a minute you could spend taking another step on your own path. Life is not a race where everyone starts at the same place and runs toward the same finish line. We have different goals, different responsibilities, different strengths, different opportunities, different challenges. So give yourself permission to move at your own pace. You may be moving slowly, but slowly does not mean nowhere. You may not have reached your goal, but that does not mean you never will. Your job is not to arrive before everyone else. Your job is to keep becoming stronger, wiser, and better than you were before. Let other people have their journey. You have your own life to build, and your progress deserves your patience. Lesson 3. Your mistakes are part of your growth. Being patient with yourself also means accepting that you will make mistakes. You will make wrong decisions. You will say something you wish you had not said. You will trust the wrong person sometimes. You will miss opportunities. You will start something and fail. You may even repeat a mistake you thought you had already learned from. When this happens, do not immediately start attacking yourself. Many people make one mistake and then spend days saying, "Why did I do that? I am so stupid. I always ruin everything." But these words do not help you grow. They only make the mistake heavier. Instead, ask, what is this mistake trying to teach me? Maybe you trusted someone too quickly. Now you know that trust needs time. Maybe you wasted money. Now you understand why planning is important. Maybe you failed at something because you were not prepared. Now you know what you need to improve before trying again. A mistake becomes valuable when you learn from it. Think about learning to drive. At the beginning, you may forget something. You may stop the car too suddenly. You may feel nervous in traffic. But you do not say, "I made one mistake, so I can never drive." You practice. You become more comfortable. You learn from experience. Life works in a similar way. You cannot expect yourself to know everything before you have lived through it. Sometimes experience teaches lessons that advice cannot. Another important thing is learning to forgive your past self. Maybe you look back at something you did years ago and think, "How could I make that decision?" But the person you were then did not know everything you know today. You had different experiences, different knowledge, a different level of maturity. If you can see clearly today that something was a mistake, that itself can be a sign that you have grown. Do not spend your whole future punishing yourself for something you already learned from. Take responsibility when necessary. Apologize if you hurt someone. Correct what you can. Then move forward. You cannot change yesterday by hating yourself today. And remember, growth is not a straight line. Sometimes you will improve for weeks and then have a bad day. You may return to an old habit. You may lose your patience. You may doubt yourself again. That does not mean all your progress has disappeared. Notice what happened. Understand why it happened. Then return to the person you are trying to become. Do not say, "I failed, so everything is over." Say, "I made a mistake. What is my next better choice?" That question keeps you moving. You are not supposed to live perfectly. You are supposed to learn how to live better. And learning includes mistakes. So give yourself room to be human. Correct yourself without destroying yourself. Learn without carrying unnecessary shame. Take responsibility without believing that one bad decision defines your entire life. You are still learning. You are still changing. You are still becoming wiser through experience. Your mistakes are chapters in your story, but they do not have to become the ending. Learn the lesson, turn the page, and keep growing. Lesson 4. Trust the journey, even when you cannot see the results. One of the hardest parts of personal growth is continuing when you cannot see the result yet. You are trying, you are learning, you are changing your habits, you are working toward your goals. But your life still looks almost the same. This is when doubt begins. You start asking yourself, is all this effort worth it? Why am I not seeing results? What if nothing changes? Sometimes, the work you are doing today takes time to become visible. Think about a seed under the ground. You water it every day. For some time, you see nothing. There are no flowers. There are no leaves. From the outside, it may look like nothing is happening. But underneath the ground, roots are developing. Your growth can happen in the same way. Maybe you are becoming more disciplined before your success becomes visible. Maybe you are developing skills before the right opportunity appears. Maybe you are learning patience before you understand why you needed it. Maybe you are becoming stronger during a difficult period. Not every improvement can be seen immediately. Sometimes you are building the foundation first. Imagine someone learning a new language. For weeks, they listen and practice. They still forget words. They still make mistakes. They may feel that they are not improving. Then one day, they understand a conversation that once sounded impossible. The progress did not happen in that single moment. It was built quietly during all those days of practice. Your life can work the same way. Do not judge months of effort by one difficult day. Do not decide that your plan is useless simply because the result is taking longer than you expected. Give good habits enough time to work. You should also understand that your journey may not follow the exact plan you created. Maybe you expected to reach your goal this year. It takes 2 years. Maybe you thought one opportunity would change everything. It does not work out. Maybe you believed one path was right for you. Later, you discover a different direction. That does not always mean you failed. Sometimes your plan needs to change while your purpose remains the same. Be flexible. Ask yourself, what is this situation teaching me? What should I change? What should I continue? Trusting the journey does not mean blindly doing the same thing forever. If something is clearly not working, learn from it and adjust. Patience is not doing nothing. Patience is continuing to take useful action without demanding immediate results. There will also be moments when you feel like everyone else is moving faster. Someone gets the opportunity you wanted. Someone reaches a goal before you. Someone seems to have everything figured out. Do not allow their timing to make you lose faith in yours. You do not know what your next year will bring. You do not know which skill you are learning today will become important later. You do not know which rejection may push you toward a better opportunity. You cannot see the entire road from where you are standing. You only need to see the next step. Take that step. Then take another. If today you can only do something small, do something small. Read 5 pages. Exercise for 20 minutes. Save a little money. Practice your skill. Send the application. Make the phone call. Finish the task. Small actions keep your journey moving. And when motivation disappears, remember why you started. What kind of person are you trying to become? What kind of life are you trying to build? Keep that picture in your mind. Your current situation is only one part of your story. Do not treat it like the final chapter. You may be in the part where you are learning. You may be in the part where you are rebuilding. You may be in the part where nothing seems to be happening. But that does not mean nothing will happen. Keep preparing, keep improving, keep showing up. and give time a chance to work with your effort. Some of the most important growth happens before anyone can see it. Trust what you are building, stay patient with yourself, and keep walking. The results may be closer than they look. Lesson 5. Respect small progress. Sometimes we become impatient because we only notice big results. We want a complete transformation. We want to become confident, successful, disciplined, healthy, strong. We want our life to look completely different. And when that does not happen quickly, we think, nothing is changing. But something may already be changing. You are simply not noticing the small improvements. Maybe you used to wake up at 10, and now you wake up at 9. Maybe you could study for only 10 minutes, and now you can focus for 30. Maybe you were afraid to speak in front of people, but today you said a few sentences with more confidence. Maybe you used to become angry immediately, but now you stop and think before reacting. These things may look small, but they are signs that you are moving forward. Do not wait until you reach the final goal before you feel proud of yourself. Learn to respect the steps that are taking you there. Think about climbing a staircase. You cannot jump from the first step to the top. You climb one step, then another, then another. Each step may look small, but every step takes you higher. Your growth works the same way. A better life is usually built through small actions repeated for a long time. One workout will not completely change your body, but regular exercise can. Reading 10 pages may not make you an expert, but reading regularly can give you a great amount of knowledge over time. Saving a small amount of money may not feel exciting, but doing it consistently can create something meaningful. One good decision may feel small, but hundreds of good decisions can change the direction of your life. This is why you should stop saying, "It is only a small step." A small step is still a step. And sometimes, a small step is exactly what you need. Another important habit is to look back occasionally, not to live in the past, but to see how far you have already come. Ask yourself, what can I do today that was difficult for me 6 months ago? What do I understand today that I did not understand before? What habit have I improved? What problem can I handle better? You may be surprised by your own answers. When we see ourselves every day, growth can be difficult to notice. It happens slowly. But when you compare yourself with an older version of yourself, the difference becomes clearer. You should also celebrate small wins. You do not need a big celebration. Sometimes simply saying, "I did well today," is enough. Maybe you finished something you had been delaying. Maybe you kept a promise to yourself. Maybe you stayed calm in a difficult situation. Maybe you chose not to return to an unhealthy habit. Notice it. Your mind needs to know that your effort matters. And do not destroy a week of progress because of one bad day. If you exercised 5 days and missed 1, you are still making progress. If you studied every day and then took a break, you have not lost everything. If you were disciplined for a month and made 1 mistake, the month still happened. Do not let perfection make you blind to improvement. Your journey will have fast days, slow days, strong days, difficult days. That is normal. The goal is not to move perfectly. The goal is to keep moving. Give your small progress the respect it deserves. Because the person you want to become will not suddenly appear one morning. That person is being built quietly through the choices you are making today. Big changes often begin so quietly that nobody notices them at first. Keep going long enough, and those small steps may become the life you once dreamed about. Lesson 6. Your best version is coming. Don't give up now. The final lesson is about believing in a person you are becoming. Sometimes, you look at yourself today and only see what is missing. You see the confidence you do not have yet, the money you have not earned yet, the goal you have not reached yet, the habits you are still trying to change, the mistakes you still make. And because you focus so much on what is missing, you forget something important. You are still becoming. The person you are today is not the final version of you. Think about yourself 5 years ago. You probably thought differently. You knew less. You had different fears. You made decisions that you might not make today. You worried about things that no longer matter. Some experiences made you stronger. Some mistakes made you wiser. Some difficult moments taught you lessons you could not have learned from an easy life. You changed. And if you changed before, you can continue changing. This is why you should not judge your entire future by your current situation. Maybe your life does not look the way you want right now. That does not mean it will always look this way. Maybe you are struggling with confidence. Confidence can be built. Maybe you are not disciplined. Discipline can be developed. Maybe you do not have the skills you need. Skills can be learned. Maybe you made poor decisions in the past. Better decisions can begin today. Your current weakness does not have to become your permanent identity. Do not say, "I am a lazy person." Say, "I am learning to become more disciplined." Do not say, "I am not confident." Say, "I am building my confidence." Do not say, "I always fail." Say, "I am learning what works and what does not." The words you use about yourself matter. If you constantly describe yourself as someone who cannot change, eventually you may stop trying. Give yourself a new story. Not a fake story, a growing story. Say, "I am not there yet, but I am working on it." That little word, "yet," gives you room to grow. I cannot do this yet. I am not good at this yet. I have not reached my goal yet. The story is still continuing. Another important part of patience is understanding that your best version will not suddenly arrive one morning. You build that person through daily choices. Every time you choose discipline instead of another excuse, you are building that person. Every time you practice instead of quitting, you are building that person. Every time you control your reaction instead of creating an unnecessary argument, you are building that person. Every time you get back up after a difficult day, you are building that person. Every time you learn from a mistake instead of repeating it, you are building that person. These moments may seem small. Nobody may clap for you. Nobody may even notice. But you are changing. This is why you can pay attention to your direction, not only your speed. Imagine two people. One person is moving quickly, but in the wrong direction. Another person is moving slowly, but every step takes them closer to the life they want. Who is really doing better? Speed means very little if you are going somewhere you do not want to be. So instead of asking, "Why am I not moving faster?" ask, "Am I moving in the right direction?" If the answer is yes, keep going. You do not have to rush your growth. Some things take time because they need strong foundations. A tree that will stand for many years first needs strong roots. A strong person also needs foundations. You need experience. You need discipline. You need patience. You need self-awareness. You need to learn how to handle failure. You need to understand what matters to you. These things are not built overnight. Sometimes the delay you hate is teaching you something you will need later. Maybe you are learning patience. Maybe you are becoming more careful. Maybe you are developing a skill. Maybe you are learning how to handle rejection. Maybe you are learning that you can survive difficult moments. You may not understand the value of these lessons today, but later, you may look back and realize, that period changed me. This does not mean every difficult situation happens for a special reason. Sometimes, difficult things simply happen, but you can still decide what you do with the experience. You can ask, what can I learn? What can I change? How can I become stronger from here? That gives you something useful to carry forward. There will also be moments when you want to quit. You will feel tired. Your progress will feel too slow. You will see someone else moving faster. You may think, maybe this is not for me. Before giving up, remember why you started. Think about the version of yourself who decided, I want something better. That person had a reason. Maybe you wanted a better career. Maybe you wanted better health. Maybe you wanted confidence. Maybe you wanted financial freedom. Maybe you simply became tired of living the same way. Do not forget that reason just because today is difficult. A difficult day should not make decisions for your entire future. Rest if you need to. Change your plan if necessary. Ask for help. Learn a better method. Slow down. But do not automatically quit something meaningful because progress became uncomfortable. Sometimes, you are closer to a breakthrough than you realize. Think about how many people stop just before their effort begins to produce results. They work for months. They become disappointed. They quit. And because they quit, they never discover what another few months of consistent effort might have created. Of course, persistence does not mean blindly following a plan that clearly does not work. You can change your strategy. You can choose another path. You can learn from failure. But changing the method is different from giving up on yourself. Do not confuse changing direction with losing hope. Maybe plan A does not work. Try plan B. Maybe one opportunity disappears. Prepare for another. Maybe one dream changes. Build a new one. Life is not always about following the exact plan you made years ago. Sometimes growth means becoming flexible enough to create a better plan. And please stop believing that you are too late. Maybe you wish you had started earlier. Maybe you think, I wasted so much time. You cannot return to yesterday, but you can decide what happens with today. If you are 30, start at 30. If you are 40, start at 40. If you are 50, start at 50. The best time may have been earlier, but the time you actually have is now. Do not waste another year being angry about the years you already lost. Use what is still in your hands. Your time, your choices, your attention, your ability to learn, your ability to begin again. There's something powerful about beginning again. It means your past did not get the final word. Maybe you failed before. Begin again. Maybe you lost confidence. Build it again. Maybe you stopped working toward your goal. Return to it. Maybe you made a terrible decision. Make a better one today. Your life does not require a perfect history before it can have a better future. And while you are working on yourself, do not forget to appreciate the person you already are. Personal growth should not become a reason to hate yourself. You can want to improve and still respect yourself today. You can say, I am proud of how far I have come, and I still want to go further. These ideas can exist together. You do not need to insult your current self to motivate your future self. In fact, patience often creates stronger growth than constant self-criticism. Imagine talking to a child who is learning something. If every time they make a mistake you say, "You are terrible, you will never learn, everyone is better than you," would that help them? Probably not. But many adults speak to themselves exactly this way. Be firm with yourself when necessary. Take responsibility. Keep your promises. Push yourself when you are making excuses. But do it without destroying your self-respect. Say, "That was not my best. I can do better tomorrow." That is very different from, "I am a failure." One sentence gives you direction. The other gives you hopelessness. You need direction. Your best version will also keep changing. The person you want to become today may not be the same person you want to become 10 years from now. That is okay. Growth does not have a final finish line. You reach one goal and discover something new. You learn one lesson and life teaches you another. You become stronger in one area and realize another area needs attention. You are always becoming. So do not wait for the day when you can finally say, "Now I am completely finished." Instead, learn to enjoy becoming better. Enjoy learning. Enjoy discovering what you are capable of. Enjoy noticing that something which once felt impossible is becoming easier. Enjoy looking back and realizing, "I handled that differently than the old me would have." Those moments are powerful. They show you that growth is real. One day, you may meet a version of yourself that your current self can hardly imagine. More confident, more disciplined, more peaceful, more skilled, wiser, stronger. Not because life magically changed overnight, but because you kept showing up. You kept learning. You kept correcting yourself. You kept trying after failure. You stayed patient long enough for small changes to become big changes. So when you feel behind, remember, you are still growing. When you make a mistake, you are still learning. When progress feels slow, you are still moving. When you have a bad day, your journey is not over. And when you feel like quitting, remember the person you are trying to become. Give that person a chance to exist. Give your effort time. Give your habits time. Give your skills time. Give yourself time. You do not need to know exactly when everything will come together. Just keep doing the things that move you in a better direction. Your future is being shaped by choices that may look very small today. So be patient. Trust your growth. Forgive your mistakes. Respect your progress. Rest when necessary. Start again when necessary. And keep walking. Because the person you are becoming is being built through every moment when quitting would be easier, but you choose to continue. Your best version is not waiting somewhere in the future for you to find it. You are creating that person right now, one choice, one lesson, and one patient step at a time. My dear friends, be patient with yourself. You are still learning, still growing, and still becoming stronger. Do not let slow progress make you give up. Trust your journey, learn from your mistakes, and keep taking small steps forward. Your best version is coming. Give yourself time, and don't give up now. If you enjoyed this video, please like, share, and subscribe to our channel. Keep growing, keep believing, and I'll see you in the next video.